Rana, thank you, Sudha. But at least people are fighting. At least when we heard what Sudha spoke about Bastar, about people coming out, people raising their voices, people fighting. And Rana, I'm sure after reading your book, people will start questioning and people will start raising the voice, and hopefully 2019 will be different. Because people will come out together, and there is, you can see this, people coming out and people raising their voices, and people saying we are not going to accept this repression, we are not going to be terrorized. Now, Anand has come, as we said, he got it a bit late, but before Anand, we'd like Justice Suresh to say a few words about SABI and... Okay. Then Anand is now, you all know Anand, he's an author and he's also the General Secretary of the Committee for Protection of Democratic Rights. So it's good.
Saying that outside, my apologies for being late. I was just about to miss the flight from Goa, then somehow it took a long time to travel because of the ATC problems, etc. and got me here quite late, and then Bombay traffic. Otherwise I had provided sufficient cushion for coming here, but somehow it has not happened. I'm quite happy to see you all here. We are observing the first death anniversary of our beloved friend and comrade, P A Sebastian, who died on 23rd of this month last year in Goa. I'm particularly happy to see Justice Suresh, who has been long-standing friend of CPDR and friend of Sebastian. He knows Sebastian very intimately and been associated in most of the human rights campaigns that Sebastian launched in Bombay and elsewhere. Sudha has been in her own right the civil rights activist of long standing. She is General Secretary of PUCL's Chhattisgarh, and Rana, just you heard what she is all about. To talk about Sebastian becomes difficult. You know, the memory is cloud. Most of you as such know Sabi, a part of it. And some way you have come here because he must have touched you, I believe. I see the faces and many of them are known to me, and those who are not known, I trust that they might have been known to Sabi. Sebastian was a remarkable man. It's an understatement. I'm making understatement because these days the words have lost their meaning. They have almost got the inverted things. You know, people call great, you know, you are the cheats, deceitful, murderers, all kinds of things. They become great. And the statues are erected after him, and people will be sort of eulogizing how great he was and all. So you have to be politician first to be great. Sabi was none of that, so he can't be qualifying that greatness by the established way. But Sabi, for us, was great. He was a rebel. He started off with rebel. I do not know how many people have heard him actually in jovial mood. He used to say something about his childhood and all in Trishur. And those were, if you combine them together, probably you can construct what Sabi was. So, in simple terms, he actually was a rebel and turned a revolutionary. So rebel is not good enough, but then rebel with a cause of something like a liberation of people, making that as cause of himself and living through that becomes a revolutionary. Sabi was revolutionary. He died as revolutionary. So that was Sabi. Sabi's contributions are immense. Actually, one would not, he has been General Secretary of CPDR. It's not just the sort of title that matters, but actually he made CPDR what it is. And if we are, so many people have come to pay homage to Sabi, that Saul, that what he contributed. Sabi is Bernard wrote, is the pioneer of Brussels tribunals here. We had many things that Sabi in the realm of human rights actually pioneered. One of that certainly was the Indian People's Human Rights Commission, which actually commissioned not many tribunals. One of the tribunals, and which is perhaps the most famous, was the Bombay Tribunal, over which Justice Suresh and Justice Daud, late Justice Daud, were the people justices. And for that, I remember the government had actually served notices on them that they were undermining the official commission, Sri Krishna Commission. Funnily, at the end of the day, then Sri Krishna Commission and our tribunals reports actually came similar in on many counts. But even the official commission, official findings, the Sri Krishna Commission, this state never abided by. None of the fellows that were named by Sri Krishna Commission were actually arrested, were prosecuted, and sort of convicted. So all that happens, as Rana said, perhaps this was all the same this way only. Is people say that it's a turn for fascist, and we are living in that era and all that kind of thing. There's a difference actually. In Hitler's time, in Mussolini's time, he did not have this kind of technology. He did not have the mature neoliberal state. He did not have this kind of burgeoning middle class. So these are the kinds of differentiators which actually makes it much worse than what Hitler and Mussolini did in their times. So we have to realize that. We habitually actually speak in and take a clue from the past and sort of analogize that, but it's not that. It's much worse than what we have seen ever before. Sabi did many things during everybody knows, I don't have to say, he had a polio-stricken body. Okay, with that body, we can imagine something like after passing the 10th standard from Thrissur, Kerala, he comes with nobody known here and lands it in Bombay and carries on, never returns as such to Kerala. So, and thereafter, he imbibed the spirit. There is something like, it could be said that in essence, Sabi was made of the process of which he himself was a part, which befell in his youth, which these forces actually manifested in the form of Naxalbari and Srikakulam. And he remained faithful to that. All said and done, there have been ups and downs in Naxalbari and Srikakulam, that movement, but nonetheless, it still stands as an uncompromising sort of opposition to the establishment till this day. And Sabi lived in support of that. He lived that spirit. Sabi lived the spirit of a communist. He never had any instinct of accumulation. That's the definition of the communist. And something like that Marxian dictum, that never Marx anywhere defined something like what communist utopia would be like, but something like to the people according to their ability and from the people according to their ability and to the people according to their need. That kind of dictum, Sabi actually lived. He contributed to the extent possible, whatever he was capable of, he had been giving. He had been giving free, he had been fighting free cases for the oppressed people. Whosoever came to him with seems little reference from his friends or comrades, he had taken up the cases freely, he fought up freely, and he never sort of actually expected any money from him. Whosoever has given him willingly, that actually he lived on. And whatever he he never bothered about it, but he did not know how much money, probably Suresh knew much better than Sabi ever did. So that was the kind of person he was. I would not take much time because one can go into details of the tribunals, etc. Perhaps one tribunal that it started off with was in Aravan, tribunal. People can recall that Arwal massacre, something like was likened to Jallianwala Bagh massacre. It was a simple case of MKSS, Mazdoor Kisan Sangharsh Samiti. Those days the party unity is afoot. Actually had a meeting and that had a background and all, and they had a meeting in the Gandhi Library compound, and police gherowed them and fired upon. 21 people were shot dead on the spot, and one fellow from one comrade from MKSS was taken away and was killed thereafter. So on that the tribunal was set up. It actually had a hearings in Delhi, Patna and Wall itself, and Gandhi Library compound itself, and came out with the report. That is a remarkable thing, and all kinds of tribunals that IPHRC launched were remarkable in their own ways, but we will not. I hope that many of you actually know that and need not be reiterated out here. What I would say is that Sabi gone, but actually he lives his legacy, his kind of legacy of sacrifice, a kind of sort of spirit behind. He survived by his friend, and the CPDR is a kind of thing that Sabi survives in. What I would, if we want to sort of honor Sabi, so we have to just remember, we actually called Sudha and Rana here just to sensitize what, or just to hold a mirror before you, that what kind of things that are happening in the country. Now, just look at what is actually today, Gujarat is aflame. There's a lot of things that are happening, and Rana already, I heard her say, describing those kinds of things. Can you imagine such kind of things happening, and still we actually keep on reeling up the understatement that this is becoming a fascist, or it is going to be. It's actually, as I said initially, it is much worse than fascism or Nazism ever has been. Don't have to. Silently people are being killed everywhere, and there you have to count sort of policy as a weapon in the ruling class's hand and count the dead bodies that are attributable to that. So if you take count of that, the times are very horrific, and they are particularly horrific for the organizations like CPDR. So we have to strategize, we have to strengthen such kind of organizations. We can't give up the fight as such. The Sabi will never pardon us. that is not possible. So what I would request you is, those who are not yet member of CPDR may consider of becoming one. Okay? Because this is kind of thing, you can again, like I would invoke the communist doctrine, that according to your ability you could contribute. So that way you could actually join and mark your presence in the war that is going on the side of people. So that is what is expected, or I would expect of you while remembering Sabi. I would not take much of time. I don't know. I do not have a sense of time also. So I can do that, not focus. And Justice Suresh also is there, who are going to say a lot about Sabi and their struggle itself. Thank you.